Here.
Trustee Hacker.
Here.
Trustee Lucas.
Here.
Trustee Allegna.
Here.
Supervisor Brady.
Present here. Reading of the notices of this published in Daily Herald for distribution in Warrenville, Chicago, and Winfield.
Make a motion to waive the reading of the notice published in the Daily Herald.
Thank you, Trustee Paulsen. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Trustee Allegna. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call roll.
Trustee Paulsen. Trustee Hacker.
Aye.
Trustee Lucas.
Aye.
Trustee Allegna.
Aye.
Supervisor Brady.
Aye. Motion passes. Just so you know, that was published on August 5th. Public comments, any public comments on the hearing for the road district budget? Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to discussion by the Board of Trustees and the members of the public regarding the Township budget appropriation of ordinance 2021-2 fiscal year 2021-2. Any discussion on the updated budget or amended budget, excuse me? Hearing none, I'd like to make a motion to approve the updated ordinance 2021-02 for the road district amended budget. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any other further discussion? Hearing none, please call roll.
Trustee Paulsen.
Aye.
Trustee Hacker.
Aye.
Trustee Lucas.
Aye.
Trustee Allegna.
Aye.
Supervisor Brady.
Aye, motion passes. Motion to adjourn the public hearing.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All against, say nay. Motion passes.
7:02.
We just need to sign the forms that we just voted on. Just right now. Maybe John has. Thank you.
How many copies of there are there?
Well, the county has to get one, he gets one, the township gets one.
Nikki gets,
then-
yeah.
Just the end or is there more?
No, that's it, that's it.
No.
Feel like you're signing for a house,
Oh,
yeah?
Then I gotta give one to the county engineer,
That's it, do that guy?
like 2 minutes.
Good call.
Very nice.
Got it.
Yeah.
I did. Okay. Moving on, we'll call, roll call then, at 7:04.
Trustee Paulsen.
Here.
Trustee Hacker.
Here.
Trustee Lucas.
Here.
Trustee Allegna.
Here.
Supervisor Brady.
Here. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
Of
the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're review and approval of the minutes of the regular board meeting held on August 9th, 2021. I'd like to make a motion. Can I have a second, please? So you can have discussion.
I'll second.
Okay. Discussion. No discussion? Trustee Lucas?
Have you amended it from what you had posted online?
No.
You have not?
Well, that's a question for the clerk. Trustee Lucas?
Well, I sent the email to both of you, so, okay. Then you both know my objections.
You can discuss, it's open, you know,
Sure,
I mean,
you put, there are some slanderous statements in that. That's legally slander. And I sent you both an email about this, the sentences that I objected. And that I will take legal action, and you're both aware of it, and that's all I'm gonna say, because my attorney will take it from here on out.
the board still has to vote on the minutes, so they're not willing to elaborate, they still,
Well, you know, that's up to you to elaborate, and that was up to you to amend them, so.
I'm not the clerk, trustee Lucas. I'm not the clerk, I'm the supervisor. Any other discussion?
Was this stuff in the minutes? That was supposed to be, what are we talking
You have to ask trustee Lucas, I don't understand.
Which one?
Supervisor Prater does know, because I sent Supervisor Prater, and I sent the clerk, I apologize, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, 2 items in the minutes that were slanderous, they were false. I brought this up before, where the clerk is editorializing on the minutes and not writing down what was actually said. And I pointed them out, and I asked them to have it removed from the website, which they did. And they are slanderous, and I did say that I will take legal action, and that is my stand. So when Supervisor Prater is acting like she doesn't know what I'm talking about, she knows.
She never said she didn't know what she was talking about. She asked you to explain it.
Come on.
I'm not going to verbalize, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm just kind of, okay, you're talking, this was in the August 9th minutes, the slander stuff.
Right.
Could you point it out in the minutes here?
Okay, I don't want to,
I wish
because,
you would, so I can know what we're talking about. I mean,
well,
I have no idea what
I'm gonna
slander.
tell you, Don, the reason I don't want to is because they are false statements. And I'm not going to perpetuate the lies that are in the minutes. And that's all I'm gonna say. My attorney's taking over from here.
I'm still confused because what slanders? I mean, you're talking about reports.
I'm not going to verbalize. I will not verbalize.
Okay, I'm just curious and a little confused because slanderous, I'd like to see what was slanderous. And if you're suing,
Because if
are
it's
you?
slanderous, then it has to be removed from the minutes.
Yeah.
And that's what happens at this point during discussion.
If you want to remove from the minutes, you can remove it from the minutes. But what's slanderous, so I can make a motion to remove it. I don't, what is,
And Nicole Prater knows what is the slander because she was notified in writing.
but where is it
So was
written?
mine.
It has to be written someplace.
Yes, it
But
is.
where? Where in these minutes, what you say is slanderous, so I can read it?
All right,
Just point it out, I mean, then I can read it.
let me see. Okay, where are the,
You're talking about from the August minute, right, so
Yeah.
August.
okay. And I want this for the record to know that these are false statements. And by me articulating them, I am not perpetuating them. Get your minutes up, yeah, mine are, I gotta get stuff in mine. Okay, let's see, okay, here. Okay, well, thanks, thank you. Alright, thank you. Okay, on page 3 of the minutes.
Okay.
I will read the sentence, and this is not true. The sentence states, quote, Supervisor Prater ordered trustee Lucas to stop her threatening physical behavior. Closed quotes, end quotes. Okay, that's the first part. And then the second part is,
Did that? Did I not, during the meeting?
was in the Okay, let's see, it's on page 2, quote, trustee Lucas is clearly shown placing executive minutes under the table, concealing her action of placing the minutes in her purse. End of quote. Now, those are both slanderous statements. And that's all I'm going to say, other than I had requested those on the 9th to be removed from the minutes.
Need further discussion?
So can we take it off? Take it off the minutes and just,
Kurt, do you want to take those items off the
No,
minutes?
I would not like to remove those.
Nice.
Standard.
so would we make a motion to strike it or what?
If the clerk refuses to take it off the minutes, you're voting it on what the clerk does, because those are his documents.
Okay, so part of the discussion is that if we vote not to accept the minutes and that they're not
Correct.
accepted, then what do we do?
And then it goes back to him. Okay. Any other further discussion? Hearing none, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as is. Vice Chair Leoni?
Trustee Lightfoot.
Aye.
Trustee Bowles.
Aye.
Trustee Hacker.
No.
Trustee Lucas.
Nope.
Supervisor Prater.
Aye, motion passes.
Okay.
Okay, review and approval of executive session minutes held on August 9th, 2021.
At this point, I will hand out the minutes. Please return to me after completion of the vote.
Reading.
Can the camera pick that up? So,
No.
you sure?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
7:20 can't reach that.
I'm confused.
Hold on one second, possible, I'd like to make a motion to accept the executive session minutes with removal, because trustee Lucas was present, she wasn't on a telephone conference. If we could remove the in quotes teleconference, please, for the executive session minutes that were held on August 9th, 2021.
When were these supposed to all have taken place last month? These notes that are in here?
Yes, ma'am. Is there a second to the motion? Oh, sorry, I'm sorry, my bad. I'm sorry.
So these are gonna, we vote on this, we're gonna release them to the public?
No, it's just a vote to approve them with the word teleconference removed from trustee Lucas because she was present at the time. Is there a second?
A second.
Caution with the discussion because it's not released. Is there any questions on these? Hearing none, please call roll.
Trustee Bowles.
Aye.
Trustee Hacker.
No.
Trustee Lucas.
No.
Trustee Electum.
Aye.
Supervisor Prater.
Aye, motion passes. Okay, public comments. If you have a comment, please, sir, stand up and state your name and.
Hi, I'm Norm Boswell, resident of Winfield. For transparency, I'm also a member of our school board. But I'm here, my comment is here as a resident with children at the school that will be impacted by TIF 2. And I'm here because I'm appalled that the village and township leadership are voting in favor of taking millions of dollars away from our public school. There are various reasons why I'm against TIF 2, but it ultimately comes down to money that should be going to the taxing bodies. Most of it, as much as $8 to $10 million for my school district, which will now instead go to the village of Winfield to build a new police station and village hall. I'm sure you all know that property can be designated inside a TIF district for a maximum of 23 years. There is a process in place if the municipality needs or wants more time for the TIF district, and that process starts with seeking the support of the taxing bodies impacted by the TIF district and requesting a 12-year extension to be approved by the Illinois legislature. Notice we're talking about TIF 2. It's because we already have TIF 1. TIF 1 was implemented in 2004. We are now 17 years into TIF 1, and development is finally happening. And when TIF 1 expires in 2027, the taxing bodies, like my school, can expect to receive increased revenue from this development. But because it took 17 years for development to finally happen, the village sees that they will not be able to maximize the dollars going to the TIF or the new village hall police station. So they need more time for this property to be designated in the TIF district. As I stated before, there's a process in place if more time is needed, and it starts with collaborating with the taxing bodies impacted by the TIF. The Village of Winfield did not do this. It didn't even try to collaborate. They went straight to this idea of a DTIF re-TIF. They are taking the same property from TIF 1 in 2004, DTIFing it, and then immediately putting it back into a new TIF. This is the village's way of gaming the system and extending the TIF without the need to work with the taxing bodies. This will result in some property being stuck in the TIF district, not just for 23 years, but for over 40 years. This isn't against the letter of the law, it's certainly against the spirit of the law. So clearly the village didn't put any effort into working with the taxing bodies, but besides seeking an extension to the already existing TIF district, there's another option for the village to pay for a new city hall and police station, and this is typically how municipal development happens in the first place, and that's to engage the voters with the referendum. Our school district just passed a referendum in the last year by engaging the public and making sure they know why we need one. This is yet another option the village of Winfield did not even attempt to try. By approving this, you essentially eliminate the requirement that properties only be designated for 23 years. You're also eliminating the need for municipalities to work with the taxing bodies to collaborate with them and negotiate the extension. And finally, you're allowing village leaders to essentially steal millions of dollars that should be going to the taxing bodies like our public schools. Thank you.
Any other member of the public would like to speak? Please, once again.
Hi, my name is Lynn Casey here. I'm a resident of West Chicago, and transparency, I'm also a school board member for District 94. It's my understanding that you voted yes to approve the TIF 2. TIF money is supposed to be used to assist with public infrastructure, such as what happened when they built Winfield Station, and they had to help out Winfield, clear up all the stuff from Winfield Fuel. So that is the purpose of a TIF. It's not to be used to build a municipal building. Development is already happening in the TIF 2 area to the tune of about $70 million worth of building, not using any TIF money at all. There is no but for to extend this and make this TIF 2, except for the village, the new village hall that they want to build, which, by the way, lost when it was up for a referendum by 2-1. The voters did not want to spend the money to put in a new village hall. So that's already been decided. So this is their backdoor way of trying to get their money. These funds are needed for our kids. We have been going through a pandemic. We have been going through growth. The schools have already not had money because of TIF 1. So to lose even more money, is it D34 is gonna lose what did you say, about
$12.3 million.
$12.3 million, but we're kind of right behind you. I think we're losing about
$8 million.
$7 million. Oh,
Yep.
$8 million. Wow, Thank you. So anyway, using TIF funds for municipal construction is generally considered illegal, and which can generate lawsuits. A yes vote for TIF 2 is absolutely morally wrong in this situation and ethically wrong. So I just wanted to make that known. I know the taxing bodies have already voted. Most of them abstained, but your vote was the deciding vote. And that was a huge mistake. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Cyd Paulsen, Winfield. As a grandma, as a mom, and as a retired teacher of 31 years, I have to make some comments about the TIF 2. Now, during a pandemic, you would take away money from schools around 10 to 11.3 million when they need extra cleaning, sanitation, they need technology so that all students, abled and disabled, can have a continuum of services. And they need the money more than ever. 14% more teachers retired last year than any other year. They need to secure good professionals. So that is one issue. Another is, my understanding of TIF is that it is for economic development. The two small buildings that they're talking about for the hall and the police won't have any retail. They won't have any businesses in them. That's not going to increase the economy. And you would think with something this large, it would go to the voters, be explained to them, and then a referendum passed. But in 2021, in the spring, they did that. They asked voters how they felt about spending 10 million on a village hall. And 2-1, they said no. So you as public servants are not listening to the constituents when you go to the joint meeting and vote yes, and taking money away from kids, which is shocking.
Okay.
Do I get
Yes,
you?
yes, absolutely.
Matt Rich, Superintendent, Winfield School District 34. Wasn't sure whether or not I was going to do a public comment, but I'm going to go a little different technique here. First of all, I want to thank Mark Lee, the assessor here, for the township. Without his numbers, none of us would have any idea of how much money this actually is. And his predictions of giving to CDH and to the village have at least allowed some public dialogue of how much money we're talking about. And thank you for doing the extra work to help us at least understand what we're talking about so we can explain to our taxpayers and to our voters. This is an unusual tip. And we did reach out, and for the Joint Review Board, each member of the Joint Review Board was provided a packet with information. It is, with the monies that have been pointed out here, 75% of the money is going to be used for the construction of Village Hall and a plaza. 75% of the money is going to be for municipal development. This is an unusual tip. Norm Bothwell explained the DTIF, RETIF piece is unusual. The primary objective of the TIF being municipal development, not economic development, is unusual. And for the taxing bodies involved, depending on whose numbers you use, we're looking at minimally 2160 as the year that our taxpayers would break even. This will actually have an impact on our taxpayers in the year 2028. That's when Winfield 34 will need to go to referendum for its construction piece. The monies that were in the TIF would have covered our cost on that. As a result, we will be asking our taxpayers for a tax increase to be voted on, one that should be voted on by the village. Our votes do count, and our votes matter. Just as my board is responsible and gives me direction and has been working to understand this topic for over a year, your board has a very important piece. You are a deciding vote. It's really important as board members you understand what you are now asking your taxpayers to pay as a result. The developer in this situation, Northwestern Medicine, Central DuPage Hospital, wants no funds back for the actual development. That is unusual. That is very different than Winfield Station. I just think all of our boards, and I did reach out to Mrs. Prater. I personally brought over the binder and offered the opportunity for them to have a conversation to understand this. As board member from 94 Lynn Casey Maher said, on our website is a ton of information. We want to make sure we have an informed public because it matters. And I know when I ask for voters and say, why are we going to explain this? I'm going to have to explain this story. So thank you.
public comment, man.
Yes,
Man, none of these numbers, so,
They're all preliminary, I got it.
no.
hold on, this is the time,
So
sorry.
I never gave TIF estimates, and I never do,
Mhm.
because I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what's gonna be built. They give concept, I have no idea. I gave a estimate to the hospital when they were dealing with the village on what property, what it would impact, or how much their parking garage would be, the parking garage that's going up. That's the only estimate I gave me, after they gave me plans and everything and spelled out what it actually was. That's the only estimate I gave, and that was not for a TIF or anything. That was just for that building, and that's back when the hospital was dealing with the village and saying, well, we'll put it on the tax rolls. And they came to me and asked me, if this building went on the tax rolls, what would you value it at? And I said, well, gonna give you it's not gonna be an exact thing, it's a really preliminary estimate, even though they did have plans and everything. So we went through the plans and we came up with what we would put it on. But as far as the other buildings and all that, I've never given an estimate on any of that, and I never would. Because it's just not something that I can, as an assessor, I react to what's built. They could build something, and if it sits there vacant, the value, I adjust values.
Mhm.
If it gets all filled up, it's the value. There's too many variables to give estimates on a value of something before they don't even know how big or what it is. So the only thing I've ever given an estimate on, and it wasn't for a TIF, because I don't do that through the year. I've been doing this for almost 34 years. We've been through several TIFs, but that's not what I do, and that's not what I did. So none of these estimates come from my office. Is only the garage, and that was not discussed as what would the TIF value of it.
Thank you for the clarity. We really appreciate that. And
Sure.
once again, we appreciate what you do for our community.
No, but I've heard people say that too. Well, these numbers thrown around, but they're not my numbers. That's all I have.
Anyone else? I just want to make sure. It's okay. You're okay, miss? Any comments? No? Okay. Clerk Guillaume has we're gonna do clerk for Eric Spandy.
Okay. This is for Eric Spandy Hill, Winfield Township Board. Asterisk, please read during public comment as the September 13th Township Board meeting, closed asterisk. Brought to my attention that Supervisor Prater had provided incorrect, misleading, and/or incomplete information on Winfield TIF 2 proposal to Winfield Township Board members. The text messages I viewed were of concern since they in no way reflect the TIF 2 proposal, and the discussion with Township trustees indicated their understanding was far from complete. This was surprising since Ms. Prater attended 2 3-hour joint review board sessions during which the TIF 2 proposal was discussed at length. In addition, Ms. Prater had access to considerable information on TIF 2 that was provided by the Village of Winfield. The village also has a considerable archive of information on the TIF 2 at their website, link provided. With this in mind, I prepared a high-level summary of TIF 2 based on Village of Winfield data and my own extensive experience as the previous Winfield Village President. I hope this provides a better overview of the TIF 2 proposal for your board's consideration at your September 13th meeting. It is commonplace that a board will direct their chair/supervisor to take certain position based on the will of the majority or the unit of government. In this instance, Winfield Township Board could have directed Supervisor Prater to vote a certain way based on the majority opinion of the board. This is why it's unfortunate that Ms. Prater failed to provide your board with an adequate TIF 2 overview so that the Winfield Township Board could have an informed discussion and then direct Ms. Prater to take a specific position, parentheses, yes, comma, no, comma, or abstain, close parentheses, in her role of representing Winfield Township Organization at the TIF 2 Joint Review Board. In addition, I was shown a text message from Ms. Prater to a township trustee that indicated she was going to vote no on the TIF 2 proposal. In fact, Ms. Prater was the deciding vote of yes to approve the proposed TIF 2 at the Joint Review Board. In the second 3-hour session of the Joint Review Board, Ms. Prater gave an unqualified support of the TIF 2 effort. And then she berated those who were offering a respectful but different point of view, parentheses, school district, open parentheses, SD, close parentheses, 34, comma, SD 94, close parentheses. The final vote was 3 in favor, parentheses, Village of Winfield, DuPage County, Winfield Township, close parentheses, 2 opposed, parentheses, School District 34, comma, School District 94, close parentheses, and 4 abstentions, parentheses, public member, Fire District, Park District, and College of DuPage, close parentheses. Please note that those that had the least to lose from TIF 2 voted yes, parentheses, Village, County, Township, close parentheses, and those that will lose over 10 million in property tax revenue due to TIF 2 voted no, parentheses, SD 34, SD 94, close parentheses. As I noted in the narrative, SD 34 is considering suing the Village of Winfield if they implement TIF 2, parentheses, link below, close parentheses. The Winfield Township Board may want to view this heartfelt discussion by the SD 34 Board of Education as you have a meaningful discussion with Ms. Prater on why she took certain actions with your board and in representing your organization. Feel free to contact me via email, by phone, or if you'd like a sit-down meeting, if further discussions would be useful. The Village of Winfield TIF 2 archive is here. Hyperlink https://www.villageofwinfield.com/town-center-redevelopment-TIF-2. Link to School District 34, SD 34 board meeting where they discuss suing Village of Winfield if they implement TIF 2.
Thank you.
Alright.
Barb Leckman.
Yes, I have comments. At our August meeting, the board will recall that I noticed Trustee Lucas had folded up the executive minutes and put them in her purse. Please note that executive minutes are confidential and the property of the clerk and township. The next day, I reviewed the video to see when and how the notes got in her purse. Please view the 1857 mark where you will clearly see Trustee Lucas put the folder under the table, remove the minutes, and fold them. At 1937, she reaches for her purse and puts them in her purse. She was obviously trying to hide her actions under the table. This behavior is reprehensible and unworthy of the title of trustee. The taxpayers deserve more from an elected official. Removing confidential township documents is wrong and should be punished. What was so important in those minutes that she would risk everything by concealing and removing them? Taxpayers will want to know. We expect better behavior not only from a trustee, but a registered nurse. Trustee Lucas has shown her true colors for all to see on this video. She has lost my trust as well as other board members, township employees, and taxpayers. In 3 short meetings, she has volunteered that mental illness runs in her family, cried twice, shown antagonistic behavior toward our supervisor, and threatening and aggressive behavior towards me. In addition, she has doubled down on her assertion that general assistance recipients often have mental health issues. And I quote, "A lot of times people in financial need have mental illness." That's the 2410 mark. "That is evidence-based," close quote. In my opinion, she should resign immediately.
Can I ask a question? Where did we go on this? Where were we
We're
just
in
talking
public
about
comments.
on the-
We're in public comments right now.
Oh, that's
Oh,
public
okay.
comment.
They're in public comments right
Okay,
now, okay?
okay, I gotcha.
Okay, any further public comments? Hearing none, moving on to review and approval of board audit report. I move to approve the board audit report for $346,976.82. Do I have a second? No, we can have discussion. Any discussion? Questions? Hearing none, please call roll.
Trustee Hacker,
I'm still deciding. So taking it home, it's just that.
Trustee Lucas,
The audit report, aye.
Trustee Electum,
Aye.
Supervisor Prater,
Aye.
Trustee Bolts,
Right,
Trustee Hacker.
just skip it. I'm just wondering, if
Abstain.
I just wonder when we're just gonna get together, when all this is gonna stop.
Yeah.
So I'm a little frustrated right now, I'm sorry.
Do we want to call a recess for a little bit?
No, we're fine, we're fine, keep going.
Discussion, time and date of workshop for mission statements. I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, I didn't do this because I wanted everyone to get through the boot camp, which was either August 12th or August 26th. We didn't get that done, so let's find out the best time and date to actually do this for everybody right now. Fair enough. Suggesting next Monday at 7:00 PM. Sorry. Sorry, I'll elaborate the date specifically. That would be the 20th of September at 7 PM,
I can't do it.
okay? Move on to, what about Friday the 17th at 6 PM?
I'm not available on that
Okay.
day.
What about Monday the 27th? You're good, trustee Lucas, trustee Hacker,
Yes.
the 27th, you're good? Trustee Alekna?
Yeah.
Yeah? Trustee Volz, are you good on the 27th at 7 PM? As of right now, excellent. So we will have a mission statement workshop on September 27th at 7 PM. I will have that put on the agenda and up at the front and posted on the website as well.
So what are the rules for that? How does that work?
We'll come in and we will have a discussion literally on what we want to have in our mission statement, define what the township is, because it can't be regarding the assessor's office, because the assessor is its own entity. It can't be regarding,
Is the public welcome?
yes, absolutely, yeah, because we still have the pledge, the public comments, everything is the
So it's
same.
gonna be an open thing? You're not gonna steer it one way or push us all in another direction, right?
No, it's just literally the same thing. It's gonna be roll call, pledge of allegiance, workshop, and then the public comment, sorry, workshop, then adjournment. Kind of just like the way you guys did your swearing in. Okay? That's the way the special meeting would be. Workshop, all right? Moving on, right? Any other questions? Monthly financial and investment report, that's information only. Update on ordinance 2021-2, road budget. We just approved it during the hearing. John ran out the door to get it over to where he needs to go, I guess. Recycling extravaganza, September 25th, 2021, from 9 to 12. Just wanna throw that out there. Be there, great. We can't.
We have to be there for volunteering. He wants us there by 8.
Correct.
We have a meeting before, and then he'll assign us a spot, and then we can go to our spot. Count cards.
Correct. Sorry. Vote on Winfield Township Board supporting the Village of Winfield TIP 2 plan.
Ask a question on that.
Can we get a motion first
Oh,
and
yeah,
second?
make a motion.
You make the motion that we support it.
No.
It says vote on Winfield Township
Yeah, we'll
Board
have a
support
discussion.
of, we have to ask if we want to support it or not.
You can make your motion as it is.
Making
Then
a
you just
motion
get
as
second.
is.
So are you making it to support, to not
No, I'm
support?
making a motion not to support.
Not to support.
That's what I told you 2 months ago. That's
I-
my whole
I
question.
understand. Okay, not to support the Winfield TIP 2. I'll second the motion. Just so you guys know, yes, I did call each and every single one of these trustees on a straw poll when I got on July 22nd, the information from the Village of Winfield about the joint board committee. I sent you guys the whole packet that I got from them, and I sent it to you guys and I asked you what your view on the TIP would be, just wanting to know how you feel about that. The vote, straw poll vote was no, 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 yes, and yes at that time. So at that time, Winfield Township, and at this moment, Winfield Township is against TIP 2 for the Village of Winfield. I'm just saying that, but that's that's how we're going. Any other questions, discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to discuss. I actually didn't give you a vote. I asked you to make a presentation to the board, and you said, I don't have to make a presentation to the board. I don't even have to ask you guys your opinion. I've done 110% of what I needed to do. So for the record, I am not in favor of the TIF. And you did not do 110% of what you needed to do.
Do you have it on record, by the way? You
Did I notify you I was recording you?
No,
Well, then, no, I don't have it on.
okay, because you did vote yes.
No, I didn't.
You never sent me anything,
Right, because they went to your wrong email address, that's right.
and I deleted it, yes. And I had to talk with Sheila, and she was gonna have you stop this. You're emailing stuff to my personal email.
Right, okay.
So if you never email anything, and then you asked me at the last minute, and I was running around trying to find out how to vote.
Uh-huh.
I was talking to Villager Barrett, talking to everybody, and I did agree to yes. And then I sat through that hour meeting, and it doesn't meet any of these requirements other than an acre and a half. And I was thankful then that God let the cards fall where they may, that we did vote no, and then you changed it to yes.
Negative. Which I will get into.
Letter law versus spirit law, you voted yes.
I'll explain it in the next portion of whatever. So, moving forward, vote on Winfield, any other discussion? That's what I ask. With this vote, that Winfield Township does not support the Village of Winfield TIF 2. Go ahead, Carl.
Trustee Willis.
Aye.
Trustee Hacker.
Aye.
Trustee Lucas.
So say that again now.
That you do not support the TIF 2 for the Village of Winfield.
Aye.
Trustee Alekma.
Aye.
Supervisor Baker.
Aye. Motion passes. Presentation from the Joint Review Board of the Village of Winfield TIF 2. Okay, so I was on the board, or on the Joint Committee Board. If you guys look at your draft here, what happened is I have this in your packet that I recently did. While I was there, the chairman of the meeting is Gary State, okay? He was 94 or 34, 94, okay? He started off on page 1, number 1 at the bottom here. The planned project area is, continues and is or is not greater than 1.5 acres in size. So we all voted on that, yes or no? That every member, there was 9 members. I voted yes, because yes, it was. We asked Phil McKennick, he's the person that was in charge of doing the TIF for the Village of Winfield, okay? Then we continued and we went line by line, qualify or does not qualify, number 2, are or not, at least or fewer. And then we went through each of the 5 that the village asked if it meets the TIF requirements. Then we went back to the main section where it says the Joint Review Board hereby reports that the Town Center 2 redevelopment plan and projects area meet or does not meet one or more of the objectives of the TIF Act. And both the plan requirements and the eligibility criteria defined in it gives the evidence. So basically, I stopped for a second because this was my first joint committee board. I said, hey, can we start it on the other end? Because I was going first in voting. Because I said, honestly, just by reading that statement right there the way you have it, number 1, it already meets 1.5 acres in size. It meets number 1. So my vote is gonna have to be yes. Period. So, as we continued, that vote for the first time was 3 no's, 3 yeses, and the rest were 3 abstains. Okay, so then we went to the backside and started doing all the votes on that. And then we came together again and said, hey, so is this meet or does not meet? According to the rules that we just went over for the last 2 hours and plus. And we said that it meets the regulations of the Illinois standards that they were asked to give to each 9 taxing bodies, and I said, yes, it did, it meets by just that one statement. So that's why I voted yes on that, because I'm not gonna lie that it doesn't meet that standard, because it does. It at least meets 1 or more. The Joint Committee Review Board, they have the minutes up on their website from the August 18th. I also have a draft copy of the minutes if you want to look at that and see how I voted. Proof that I said yes both times when I was asked if it meets the requirements. I did say yes. They did not ask, does Winfield Township support the TIF in any way, shape, or form? Because the answer would have been no.
It says requirements, not requirement. So mint would be 1.5 acres. We were told at those meetings that it'd be like 4 or 5 of these things.
It has to meet 3.
So requirements, you're saying you based it all on 1. It was more 1.5 acres.
But it also did meet 3 of the requirements as well.
It didn't meet any of the other ones. We listened to the fire person, we listened to everybody. It didn't meet any of, the only one it met, because it's like 25 acres. It met that. That's the only one.
Can I throw some out
Still,
here too?
again, yeah, of course.
Okay. These minutes that are here are incomplete.
What
This
are you
whole
looking
thing is
at?
this whole thing is incomplete.
That's what the Joint Committee Board worked off.
This is incomplete.
And it's a draft.
That's
This draft, I'm telling
That's
you,
not the same information I was reading today, and I'm gonna find it.
Okay, hold on.
Because those
The
words
joint-
were changed and you guys voted on different things. As
here,
to how,
this is what the final was. This is what we worked off of at the Joint Committee Board as a group that Gary State gave us, okay? And then
The guy who's trying to get this passed.
no,
Gary
the stuff
State
I
was
read
the
today was
school
completely
district.
different than that sheet of paper. Okay.
No, the Gary State
gotta
was
find
the
it.
school district, and he was the chair of the whole time. He was on the other side.
Who was the guy, who's the leader of the village?
That is Carl Storgatz, he was in
Okay,
the
that's how
middle.
I got confused.
He was in the middle. Regarding berating anybody at that meeting, personally, Phil McKenna, the guy with the tip, that was doing the tip, he started getting really, vocal, and he was getting upset with the school district, and I found that to be absurd. He was smarting off to him, I didn't like it, so I said, excuse me, but we're all here, we're all together, we're all working together. Please, Phil, if you could answer the questions appropriately and hit with some decorum, I'd appreciate it. We all would appreciate it. And the meeting went by a lot smoother. That's the only bereavement I did during that meeting, was to try to cool everyone down. And it did, it worked.
Was that the first one or the second one?
The second one.
I wasn't there for that, because you left early for the first one.
Correct, I did, because it was National Night Out. Yes, I did, but I was still on this, I still was hearing everything. Because I was via telephone conference at the time.
Yeah, so, okay.
Okay, if you want a draft of those minutes, these are not voted on, I just have the draft if you're interested in a copy of how that happens.
Well, like I said, I'm just curious, as it says requirements, and you're focusing on a requirement. Plural, and we're talking,
And I still
Singular.
believe that it still met at least 3 of the requirements.
we sat through that same 3-hour meeting. We listened to
And
the fire
And you
people.
didn't listen, and you didn't go to the next one.
What,
all I'm
something the
saying,
firehouse changed, it's not functioning, they're not using it? What changed?
All I'm saying is that from the information I was given, I believe that I did, and I voted appropriately from what the village gave me.
I strongly disagree.
Noted. Did you find what you were looking for?
Mhm. So we're at the plan and project area for the yes.
It is,
Township,
yes.
College of Page, Park District, Village, the 3494, plan and project. That was a yes, qualified.
Mhm.
Okay, so there's 2 of them that everybody voted on.
Yeah.
The only one that for the first 2,
Yes,
okay.
so does it meet 1 or more? Does it meet 1 or more, yes or no?
Okay, but hold on, let me go. Lack of community planning. There was a 3 township, COD, the village, county. No, it was 94 and 34,
Correct.
okay? So it's whatever that word, the letters, land use layout. Yes, township, village, county, no, 94 and 34, the abstains. You'll find the ones that were abstaining were the ones that were gonna probably benefit from the village of Winfield, that they need their approval from the village to go ahead with certain projects in their town, like the park district and the fire protection district. That's why they abstained from a lot of them. After discussing number 3, the declining, lagging, equalized assessed value, it was yes, township, COD, park district, village, county, no, it was 94. Oh, no, 94 voted for that, no was District 33, abstained was just the park district.
The fire.
Okay, deterioration, the vote was a yes, township, COD, village, District 94, District 33, abstained were the same ones. The obsolescence, whatever, obsolescence, whatever that word is.
That
It
was
was a
one.
yes, it was the county, the village, Winfield Township, no, 94-34.
And the public member.
Okay, now, this is where it gets interesting because it's not on here. Because in District 34, requested a vote on the following portion of the resolutions, that the wording that it meets or fails. After discussion, yes, was county, village, Winfield Township, no, fails to meet, District 34, 94, so that's.
And the public member.
Oh, public member, yes, okay, so
And then
that's
3
fails to meet.
abstain.
Okay, then number 3, all property in a plan and project area would not substantially benefit by the proposed redevelopment impact project improvements. After discussion, the board voted as following, yes, it would, the county, village, no, would not, 34, 94, Winfield Township, abstain.
No, I said
No,
would
Winfield Town, and then they abstained, it was the same 4. Okay. Okay, the growth of the EAV of the taxing districts overlaying area, including the village, has not, these are all the change of the words, have been impaired by the factors found present in the plan and project area. After discussion, the board voted as follows, yes, it has, 94 county, village, park district, CO, Winfield Township, no, has not, was District 34, and public member. Okay, and the plan and project area would or would not be subject to redevelopment without the investment of public funds.
This is where I said
This is
would
where-
not.
this is where
I
I think
stated would
everybody-
not.
This is where I think everybody on the board got confused. Because they changed it 3 different times. The plan and project area would not be subject to redevelopment without the investment of public funds, including property tax increment. After discussion, the board voted as follows, yes, it would. County, village, park district, Winfield Township.
And I said it would
No.
not.
No, would not. District 34, District 94, private member, okay? So there it said that, yes, it would. After further discussion and clarification as to what the finding meant, the vote was retaken as follows. Yes, would, District 34, 94, private member. No, would not. County, village, Winfield, the park district, and Winfield Township. The fire department and COD abstained. And the county made a motion, second by the park district, I guess, is that the park district?
Yeah.
WPD, to reconsider the vote on whether the town center 2 redevelopment plan and project area meets one or more of the objectives of the TIF Act. And both the plan requirements and the eligibility criteria defined in that 65 Illinois for following reasons. After discussion, the JRB votes as follows. Yes, county, village, Winfield Township, no. District 34, District 94, abstain.
Everyone else abstained.
Right, so the county made a motion, second by the park district, to approve the amended resolution presented by the village relating the following to be and changing finding 3 from would to would not.
I never changed it.
Yes,
'Cause-
county, village, Winfield Township, no. District 34, 94.
No, I never did, because what the whole reason for number 5, which is I will go in there, is when it came to me, they said, what is your vote? And I said, would not. And that's what started the whole question and it's.
Would not continue if they didn't have the tax. If they didn't have the TIF for district, would this project continue?
Would not, is what I said. At the very, you guys can listen to the thing, I said would not, and that's what caused everyone to go back to do the discussion all over again and
Exactly,
revote.
because at that time and that point, it would continue because the hospital's already building over there. So that project is going ahead and it would continue.
they already bought the buildings and torn them
It
down.
would
It's just,
continue.
it's a part of construction, you buy a building,
It
you tear
would,
it down,
it
it
would,
sits,
it would,
and then you build it
it
more.
would continue without
Sometimes
the
it's
TIF.
5 years.
Is how I looked into that. It would continue without the TIF project.
So with this being said, the next hearing for this at the Village of Winfield is Thursday. They're having a public hearing, okay? And then, with the joint committee board meeting it, the board, the village board voting on the TIF has to have 4 votes. If the joint committee board did not pass this, and it did not, or fails to meet, they would have to have 5 members to vote yes to this. So, until the village board actually votes on the TIF, I don't know what's happening. I do know new numbers are coming out later on this week regarding the TIF. Other than that, I did the due diligence for Winfield Township and went to the joint committee board meeting. Moving on, can I at least ask, Mark, do you need to leave right now? Is that right? Do you want to
Yeah.
just give a, can
Yeah, I'll
you
give my
just a
report real quick. We're getting ready to close our books the next 2 weeks and, we're just moving on through 21 assessments. That's all.
Cool.
Okay,
Thanks, Mark.
good seeing you.
Hi, Mark.
See you, Mark.
Okay, moving on, review and discussion of action from trustee Lucas of 8-9 Winfield Township Board meeting, specifically to minutes 1855 to 1955. Let's look at this here. We have pictures, we have the review of the tape. If you could review the tape, please, and start there, and then we can start the discussion and just ask what's going on. Can we,
Is this yours or mine? I
Um,
don't know, it all gets messed up here.
Look, we reset on me. I was thinking it's fun about it.
The guy doesn't wear any pants.
Oh, you're 1835.
Next month, we're gonna have another, rotate, but basically, it's just, we forgot to add numbers, okay, it's the last one,
So, there's one more specifically, which we're building it, but.
Yes.
Numbers that get carried out properly, totals for expenditures didn't match carryover. Numbers got confused. And just specifically building equipment, we're not changing the budget anywhere else. So, for instance, if you look at the budget I gave you this evening, $259,500, that carried out to equipment expenditure. It didn't take into account the money that we had received from the board last year to buy the bucket truck, which is $200,000. So that was being carried over to the next year. And the truck came in, right, yes, Friday. So I need to amend the budget to cover the expenses from the contracts we have signed for equipment.
So that's why next meeting at 7 o'clock, there's gonna be a budget hearing for, so we're just gonna, will approve. Lucas, any comment?
Yes,
Please.
sure. First of all, you don't see what I'm putting in my purse. But second of all, I had absolutely no way to know that I could not take the executive minutes home. I was never told that. There was no deception. I didn't want to make a big thing. John Hughes was talking. I put it in my purse. After we went to the executive meeting, at the meeting is when Mike then said, you cannot take the minutes home, you have to turn them in. The reason Barb knows they were in my purse is because I put my purse on the table, I opened up my purse and I took them out. There was no deception. If there was deception, I would have done this.
You did.
So,
You did do it under the table. And why
It's
was
not-
I just
I'm
on
still
top of all the
talking.
other
I'm still
papers?
talking.
Hold on, Barb.
I'm still talking.
Trustee Lucas,
Okay.
Trustee Lucas, and then we'll have. Trustee
The only
Lucas.
reason I put it under is because I didn't want to take focus from John Duza. And my purse was back here. So my purse was here and I opened up my purse. That's it. So what I was saying is when at the executive meeting, when Mike said you can't take them home, you have to turn them in. That's when I picked my purse up and I took it. I wasn't hiding it. I had no idea. There was nothing on the folder that said confidential, must stay in the building. Anytime I've been anywhere, I've worked in government, and I know there's certain things that are confidential and they can't leave the room. As soon as Mike said that, I took it out of my purse and I turned it in. Before the meeting was over, Barb actually stood up and was pointing at me and screaming at me. She put it in her
Point of
purse.
order.
I'm
Can't
not,
discuss anything from closed session.
well, but she did it.
Can't
past the
discuss
meeting.
anything in open meeting during closed session.
Then why did she say that in public comments?
Because it's during open session. You're doing this during open session. You're
She just read
hiding-
something.
But I'm saying her comments were from.
She just read them.
Her comments, her public comments were from the open session. That's why, from the closed session. That's why I'm wondering how she got to say that. When Mike, at this meeting, handed out these executive minutes, he said, look at them, they're confidential, you gotta turn them in, and I did. That was nothing was said like that in August. I had never been in an executive session before. How am I supposed to know that?
So why wouldn't you just leave it up you can see you're shuffling through your papers and you're putting everything up at the top with everything else. Why would you just put them in with the pile there?
We don't even know whose this paper is.
What difference does it make where I put it?
It does, because it looks like you're concealing.
No, it's
And take
not.
Why
It's
wouldn't it just be with all your other papers?
All right, here,
This is a
so-
whole big, huge pile, and I wanted to make sure I had this one separate. My motivation doesn't matter. What matters is I was never told I couldn't take it. So I did nothing wrong. It never left this room. As soon as Mike said, you gotta take it out, I took it out. Or you have to turn it in, I turned it in. How am I supposed to know that I couldn't take it home?
Basic understanding is that it's an executive session. Public is not privy to be part of that session.
Right.
That's,
In the ordinance.
I didn't give it to anybody in the public.
Is there an ordinance that we can't discuss this? We were told what COD does, where's my ordinance guiding me on that?
I'm gonna throw this on here right now, this will end it all.
But I didn't give it to
Judy,
anybody in
hold
the
on, this
public.
is gonna solve everything right here and now. Every taxing body has their own, policies on how they handle executive session, exactly what you said. COD, the members take their executive session minutes home. School districts take their minutes home. They're informed, they're told, they probably have a policy. This was brought to my attention. What did I ask you?
Is there a policy?
I asked, is there a policy to do this? We need a policy to end all of this, end it right now, stop this bullshit. I'm sorry.
No, but you're right.
Because this is what it's getting to be. It's getting to be, and when I saw that, I mean, you can say you didn't know anything like to me, but okay, as I see that, it was done on purpose. Whether or not you knew it or not, or whatever, to me, the general public sees that, it looks like, why is she, to me, it looks like you were taking it, not inadvertently, but on purpose. Okay?
Also considering what the minutes considered,
And
or the topic was, yes.
Because it's executive session stuff, and I understand what you're saying, nobody ever told you these are executive session minutes, they have to stay here. Until we do and we release them. Okay? That's why they have the boot camps, hopefully, you guys learn this stuff like that too. I can understand what you're saying, was it, I don't know.
You're done.
You're the only one that knows whether it was a mistake, accident, or done on purpose. You're the only one that knows that.
And before I
No,
even
well,
got
let
up
me
from
finish
my
it out
chair,
and I'll
I
be
turned
done.
them in,
Okay,
right?
but no, and then I'll be done. Okay, me as a board member now, when we go to executive session, after what I just saw, with what you did with the paperwork, looks like it was done on purpose. Now, my trust, when we go into executive session is, okay, in the back of my head, we're gonna discuss them, but when we leave, I'm gonna be wondering, now are you gonna go and talk to your friends about what we just said in executive session? That's my problem I have with this. I don't care if, the main thing is, there was a penalty but no foul. Figure that one out, okay? What you did had intent, but it went back out. Now, whether or not, because Mike said that or whatever,
You can't prescribe it.
Yeah.
You know, that's a
I
legal
mean,
thing.
You don't know what my
it's-
intent is.
So,
but I don't know.
Wait, wait,
But
wait.
that's what I'm saying. I don't know what your intent is. But the action, actions speak louder than words, right?
Right?
What I saw is like, okay, was it wrong? Whatever. It's gonna be what it
Manipulation
is.
files.
Yeah, but you
Important
threw it back,
papers.
but you
You
gave
don't
it back, never left the room. We need a policy that addresses that.
Of all the papers, that one paper she put under the table
If
and
it's
folded
important,
it.
you put it on
It's the pink
And
piece of
underneath, she
paper.
didn't fold it in
So-
front of
so
her,
here,
she didn't do
I've
this
been
in
trying
front
to
of
get this out a little
everyone.
bit. So I'm at Dick's shopping, right? I bring in a bag, right? The zipper broke. It was, 10 games. I'm coaching baseball. I don't have time, right, with my son. $94 for this bag and the zipper breaks. I bring it back. And then I'm walking around the store with it. So I'm like, great, they want to take it back because I have to go through Wilson or whoever we bought it from, right? So then we go get a new bag, and then we go to see if the gear fits in there. Then he gets some new gear, so I don't have a cart. I stick all the stuff in the bag. I take it up to the check register. Does it look bad if you would do this? Absolutely. But I paid for everything there, and we took it out of the bag.
Okay, my
Right,
point
it's on
is,
camera.
Exactly.
and-
What I do is
You
on camera
walking in,
too.
right, walking into the building with that bag.
No, I put it in the new bag I bought.
Okay,
So you walked
let's
through
not
the
talk
old-
about,
that's
let's not talk about your shopping.
That's the
But
same
this is,
thing.
no, it is
It's
not.
not.
If she was not trying to hide her actions, why didn't she take it in front of John, who was talking? She folded in half this way, folded in half this way, get her purse,
Yes.
and put it in everything above board on the table. She didn't do that. She did everything
So
under
what's
the
the
table.
speed limit? What's the speed limit? Are there rules to this? Were we allowed to keep those executive minutes? Is there
No.
more?
Because they're not
No,
released to the
and
public.
what,
Are we allowed to
that's
discuss
muddying the
Yeah.
issue.
How is it, if you're gonna write me a
Can I-
ticket
can
for
I-
speeding
can I finish
55 miles
talking?
an hour, and you don't have a
Can I
sign,
finish talking?
what is it?
What I'm gonna say
That's
is,
ex post facto.
Trustee Packer, let trustee Electric finish. Let trustee Electric.
why wouldn't she have just, if she thought that she could take them home, why wouldn't she just have them with all the other papers and start walking out the door with them? That's not what she did. She put it under the table, she folded it, she went for her purse, she did it under the table of all the papers. So this tells me that she knew it was wrong. This tells me that she was hiding what she was doing because she knew it was wrong. This is my point. You guys can say the dog ate my homework all day, but it's on the video. Anybody
You guys,
can
my name is
see
Sean.
with their own
Barbara.
2 eyes.
My name is Sean. I'm not you guys. My name is Sean.
I'm talking to everyone.
I did not, my purse was right here.
It's on the
I
video.
didn't-
You don't have to
exactly.
talk
Look
about
at
it.
the
It's right
video.
there.
Look at
You
the
took
video.
the folder,
My
you
purse
put it
is
under
not
the
under the
table, you
table.
took the pink minutes out.
Right.
Your purse did go under the table.
But it doesn't, what difference does it make? Before,
It
it's so.
shows that you knew what you were doing was wrong. You were hiding
Then
it.
how come as soon as he said.
You couldn't get out of it
You
at
couldn't get out of
that
here
point.
with
You
them.
couldn't get
There's
out of
five
it at that
copies of
point. We
papers
would have
that
said,
come back
where
to
is
that.
it? You
I would have
had
said
to-
somebody
you
has a
had to
copy of
bring
these
them
minutes,
out.
I would think of.
Exactly.
So you knew
No,
that
as
was.
soon as he
so you
said,
didn't
them
want
out.
then why didn't I hide my purse under?
You did.
You
You
did.
did hide
No, I
it.
did not, not
to.
when
We
I
need
took
to
it
watch it
out.
again.
Not when I took it out.
We can, not when you took it out.
Yeah,
Not when you took it out.
So-
You had your purse on the table to take it out to
Exactly.
give back.
that's
Yes.
the only
You
reason
did
why.
return the- I
you-
wanted to
you-
say
that's
this.
the only
You
reason
did
why
return the
did it.
minutes. Yes.
Right.
However, the way you did it, and trust me, on my very first ever board, I did think executive minutes. not this board, but a different one, and I had them on top, not hold it away, put away, or anything like that. And they said, hey, no, we gotta keep those. Oh, I'm sorry, here you go, no problem.
There was no deception.
It looked,
You know,
trustee
you guys
Hector,
are-
I'm sorry, trustee Lucas, I'm gonna tell you right now, to me, I can't trust you.
You know,
I can't trust that, those
I can't
actions.
trust you guys either. I can't trust her after what she said in the public. Do you know that Barb has never said hello to me?
This is a public meeting.
I know, that's what I'm saying. This is the animosity. It's like, you guys have to get over the fact that we made the board. And
There's
just accept
no
us as
comments
board
that.
members.
We have.
I'm working with you. You guys wanted stuff on the agenda, I put stuff on the agenda, we've talked to you. Now, obviously, we can see that there's definitely a difference. You don't see that you've done anything wrong in any way, shape, or
There was
form,
no
retrospect,
deception.
okay? It looks different from me.
So you're
in-
just putting it under the table for what reason? What is the reason that you would take a
Then listen to
folder
me.
and put it under and take out a piece of paper?
I'm not gonna change
Why?
any parts of my.
Yeah.
Why? Well,
I know.
just
I already told you why.
Just,
under the table? Why?
Cause she says she files things differently.
No, I didn't
That's
say
what
that.
Sean said.
Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize.
I said, I don't know. I work with people all the time and everybody does things differently. I don't care how we get to A, B, or C as long as we get there.
I said that I took it down.
Without stealing.
You know what, I've already said my, there's no
They're taking
deception.
things that,
There was no deception at all. And I don't know
That's a
why
strong word.
Barbara was even talking about that, because some of the stuff she was talking about in the public comments happened in executive session.
ongoing
And she
business.
knows that.
So where are we gonna go? We gonna make a policy? We can't have this happen again. No matter if it's this board or another board, there has to be a policy in place for the Winfield Township Board. That executive session somewhere has to be placed. Maybe we need a handbook for the
Board policy and
board
procedure.
policy. Yeah, our Winfield Township Board policy. Everybody that gets elected, like we get our regular board, our books.
I've asked for this. I've
So
asked.
we don't have.
We don't have it.
That's fine.
I've asked
So now
for
we
the
want
ordinances,
to-
the guy, I asked for the rules of the road for this township, I've asked for that.
So now we need a.
Well, rules of the road is, John.
Ordinances, no, ordinances for how the meetings go, how this happens, you know, what you can, what you can't do.
Normally it's all in the book,
It's all in your book.
the
It's all in your handbook.
handbook.
The only thing that we not have handbook is the individual, our township policy, how we handle our executive session minutes. And we need that written down and how we handle our discipline and how we do other stuff. I mean, we don't have it.
Right.
Because if there was,
I'll get
like I
this
said,
together.
there's a foul but no penalty, okay? Because it's, if you look on the camera, you see it, you see what happened, okay, minutes stayed in the room. Just, whatever reason you did what you did, who knows? I really don't care. All I know is the minutes didn't leave here. Look, I know what I saw, and I'm just leaving it at that. And, it is what it is, but we need to address that issue.
We're gonna
For
board
a
policy,
and get
get it out
there,
to you
so-
guys.
Then if
Probably
we have
by the end of
something
the
on writing that says this is what happened, everybody gets it, okay, executive minutes stays in the meeting unless the clerk releases it to us and we vote on it to release it to the public. It's the only way they go out that door.
Maybe it should be in a little folder that says confidential or something.
Exactly.
Something give us some
Do not leave the
credence.
room, stay in.
Other
stay
than
in
me
the
trying to
room.
listen to maybe you say something, well, there's some.
And I don't know if it was said before that meeting or not. I don't know if there was a statement made before the meeting when they were handed out. I
Well,
don't
this time
know.
it was clear.
I don't know if
This time it was clear. and
usually,
concise.
whoever, she used to do it, I know he's done it before you guys got here, that he would address it, that they stay here.
Yeah,
So whether or not it was said before,
And there was a-
or I don't know, you'd have to go back, listen to the tape of the meeting to see if it was actually said.
And then we promptly collected them when we were
Yeah,
done. We didn't
exactly.
promptly collect them last time either,
Exactly.
so.
Ongoing business.
Yeah, I
Department
got some.
reports. Oh,
I got some. We gotta quit this fighting.
Thank you.
It's like for the last 3 months, every time we come here, it's like somebody says something and it sets off somebody else. This is not Washington DC. This is not Springfield. This is Winfield Township where we have to our people out here, we gotta take care of them. You know, and if they're watching meetings and all we're doing is fighting, they're gonna say, man, what's wrong with these guys? You know, we gotta work on the budget, the levy and all this stuff so we get it done, you know, so we can keep our township, you know, nice, the way it is. You know, so, I mean, I almost made a comment before the meeting tonight that it just turned into an argument fight. I was gonna leave the meeting. You know, it was because I don't get to listen to everybody fighting. So,
Department reports, my notes, Ride Page had 1 rider with 4 rides. Our bus had 45 riders with 87 rides. Emergency assistance, approved cases for food as well as for an electric bill. We did a back to school drive where we helped out 7 children, for back to school items. The actual breakdown is, I gave it to you guys in your thing, so you guys can actually check that out. For your review, I put in there the DuPage County Children's Center, their annual report, as well as the Midwest Shelter for Homeless Veterans. They gave a letter as well. For your review, I gave that to you guys. The township officials of DuPage County met on September 1st, and we had guest speaker Sheriff Jim Mendrick there. He just described a lot of what he's been doing within the county. Trustee Hacker showed up at that meeting. Thank you for being there, Trustee Hacker. The next meeting is gonna be December 1st, 2021 at Winfield Township is gonna be hosting it, but it's gonna be held at Wayne Township because it's too many
Can
people.
I add something to that?
Sure.
So when we were there, some of the townships were talking about how they got $100,000 grant for this,
Mhm.
$100,000 grant for that. You know, Wayne got a senior center grant to, you know, a big chunk of their remodeling and everything else. I'm looking at do we even have a line item on our budgets for grants in our accounting system? Where does that money go? How much do we get?
If we apply for grants, which we have some of it, but yeah.
So we have gotten some?
Yes, but we have to get it from them. I have to be working with the state and.
Because I sit through that, and I'm starting to get upset because I work really hard.
Mhm.
Not saying everybody else doesn't either, but those are my tax dollars, and I want us to recapture some of that and bring it here to my home.
Mhm.
All right?
Okay,
I don't want everybody else getting it, and we're not getting it.
okay. Got it.
And then, second of all, is it worth charging $4 for the bus? Does it take more time than it's worth?
So you wanna get rid of the township bus now?
No,
I'm sorry, I'm not,
charging $4. It seems like it's more of an accounting nightmare than it is. Is it, or no? It's easy to do.
that's, he's got it, yeah.
I guarantee you, those riders have the 4 single right there, or
There you go.
5.
Yeah.
Because they take it every week and they know $4 are going there.
I'm just sitting there looking at this, I'm just like, you know,
They'll have it in their little purse, and here's the 4.
And it's a
Yeah,
lot
you're doing
cheaper, yeah, it's a lot cheaper than if they had to take a cab.
It's
or
round
Uber
trip,
to
which is
like-
cool too.
Oh, that's good.
I participated in the township officials boot camp training on the 12th via Zoom. I have notes on that if anyone's curious. And then a fall newsletter just went out on Friday. So for the recycling extravaganza and stuff like that.
how much does that whole thing cost? The printing, the mailing, is it $4 grand, $5 grand, $6 grand?
We just approved that this time
I
around.
saw some stuff of it, yeah,
There's the printing of it, there's the putting it together, that's 2 separate companies, Spiral and then Carol. Carol is the company that actually prints them. So we give them, it's $4,600, I believe, for postage, okay? For all of Winfield Township. And then,
so that's like going up to 16,000 residents?
plus, correct, yeah, no, 13,000 400 or 500 something.
Or something.
And then, Spiral helps you put it together,
Be here.
Carol gets in the mail, gets it printed and sent out, yes. And Dale is the person from here, the Carol Mark, or Carol. Okay,
My department report, first off, I'd like to invite everybody watching or anybody interested to subscribe to the Township YouTube page. The link is listed. We have, if you need an email address, you can email me, mguglielmi, Guglielmi, LMI@winfieldtownship.com. I will send you the hyperlink to get you there. When I was appointed as clerk in December of 2020, I felt it very important that the monthly meetings for Winfield Township be streamlined in the effort of transparency. A successful application has proved more vital than initially thought. As noted in the minutes of last meeting, Trustee Lucas is shown on the live stream taking executive session minutes, which are exclusive property of the clerk's office, placing them under the table and into her personal belongings. This video shows clear intent of concealing her actions to attempt to remove executive session minutes that had not been approved for release due to pending litigation. What makes this even more reprehensible is the fact that Trustee Lucas is directly involved in the pending litigation and has motive to assist her case in that pending litigation. That is the extent of the detail I can release due to the matter still pending. Here's the definition of slander: the action of making a false oral or written statement damaging to a person's reputation. To the Winfield Township Board of Trustees and the citizens of Winfield Township, there is clear, concise, and conclusive video evidence as listed in the minutes to Trustee Lucas's actions. This type of behavior will not be accepted by the office of Winfield Township Clerk and must be reprimanded. As a concerned citizen of Winfield Township, I second Trustee Elecna. I call for Trustee Lucas to resign immediately from the office of Winfield Township Trustee.
Thank you, Kurt. Executive session, is there one needed? I don't see one being needed. Motion to adjourn.
Oh, second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Nay, please say nay. Motion passes at 8:21 p.m. And if you're going to the recycling bin, I'll see you guys then.
You guys just have to get over that we made it.
I don't know. I hope they're not yours, Don.
I don't know. I don't know. I think